Hello, I'm Brett Knowles. This is a quick overview of tomorrow's web session. I'm going to cover off 3 ideas. One, about the timeliness we now need in information and our dashboards, what we call the need for speed. Second, the need to see data from various perspectives or dimensions. And then thirdly, drilling down eventually to the team or individual level. So let's talk about timeliness to begin with. We've all seen charts like this that talk about the time to reach 5 million users. So the telephone took 75 years. If we go down to Angry Birds, 35 days. So the pace of business everywhere is increasing. Sure, we've seen these slides a million times. But if you think of the implications of that for you as a leadership team, imagine that your systems went down for 10 minutes. If you had a 10-minute stoppage in your business, for the telephones, you'd have lost about 13 customer orders. For the radio, you'd lose about 25 customer orders. For Angry Birds, almost 20,000 customer orders. In other words, the pace of business, the information we have to give people, has to be there almost in real time, or there's significant impacts on our businesses. That's about timeliness. About seeing the data from different perspectives. Now, the conversation we had and heard from David is all about taking a look at it from the store perspective. So if we think of your data as being like a cube, the store is looking at one side of that cube of data. We're looking at the data by region. But we should be able to rotate that around and be able to see the same data, but by product. Now, David might not be that concerned about it, but if I was Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer or Procter & Gamble, I'd have particular products I'd want to see and be able to slice that data to look at it, for example, across regions. Or another common dimension is being able to look at it by process. How's my order entry process doing? Or how's my order entry process doing by region? Or how's my order entry process doing by product? Am I better at ordering pharmaceutical products than I am toiletries? So the dimensionality of data becomes important. It's the same issue we heard David talk about, but it's more complicated for many organizations. Then my final point is going to be about drilling down to the team or individual level. So back when I started consulting in 1982, we considered ourselves lucky if we could get financial and non-financial data aggregated by the quarter. And eventually we got it data by the month. And some organizations have achieved getting data by week. But in fact, many organizations get it by day or minute, near real time. And I'm not talking just about trading floors. Think of the data you get from going to somewhere like Home Depot or Lowe's, right? They know exactly what bin number you took the inventory from and what the remaining quantity is and so forth. So inside your organization, the data is kind of tiered to follow your organization footprint. So that mission and vision cascades down to your annual strategy plan, in which you've listed off a series of goals. And those indeed cascade down to quarterly objectives. What do I need to do this quarter in aggregate to achieve this annual goal? And then I can take those and drill them down further to what we call key results. And those go a step further to what are the specific activities we do. So if we take a look at, say, McDonald's, the activities they do are filling your order in 3 minutes, which gets a key result of fast turnaround time, which achieves their objective of timely service and so forth. So these are typically time bracketed. Mission values are long-term, 1 to 5 years. Those goals are perhaps just for this year and maybe out, say, 5 years. Our quarterly goals are obviously for this quarter, and these activities are today. So strategy gets cascaded down to the bottom. And there's a lot of thinking now about getting data down at this level. And one of the core concepts that's been coined is objectives and key results. Objectives and key results. And we know this is great because organizations like Google are using them. So what does that dashboard look like? That dashboard focuses on those things and looks something like this. So for a team or individual, how do I contribute to the company? What are my goals? What feedback do I get? values, culture. And so if I drill into my quarterly OKRs, I'm going to have specific weighting to objectives that my team or I need to achieve. We need to understand what are the key results. How do I quantitatively know if how I'm doing against that, and then be able to see how I've performed and literally how many strategy points I earn. So that OKR dashboard is a logical progression of where our data goes to, and it coalesces things you've learned about before, such as management by objectives. So these are 3 things I'm going to touch on: timeliness, seeing the data, and drilling down to the team or individual.